Thank you, Devin. And this morning, we're happy to be joined by Nurse Christina Paris. Thanks for joining us this morning. I hear we have some fun things to discuss today. You brought some peanuts. It's, all sorts of props.
I did. A little packing peanut for an illustration.
Well, there we go. Well, we'll dive right into it. So today, we're going to be talking about diabetes. So what can you tell us about diabetes? What is it?
So diabetes is basically the inability to get sugar from either the foods we eat, or your body does produce its own sugar too, into the cells that's needed for energy. So all of our body cells need sugar for energy. And what happens with diabetes is it doesn't work. There's something in the process that isn't working properly. So if you think about a car getting into a garage, so think about the garage as the cell and the car as sugar. And we need a way to get, the car into the garage. So what do we use? We use a garage door opener. So the insulin kind of acts like the garage door opener. It allows the car or the glucose to get from our bloodstream into the cell. So what happens with diabetes there's different things. So our pancreas creates the insulin, which is that hormone. And our liver stores glucose for extra things if we need it, later. And what happens with diabetes is something isn't working. So sometimes it has to do with the fat cells. So if you think of a fat cell, it takes in glucose, fat, triglycerides, things like that. So our fat cells don't multiply. What happens when we eat yucky stuff over and over again is they get big.
Oh boy.
So when our fat cells are bloated like this, insulin, sugar, things are gonna bounce off. They become insulin resistant. So the cells no longer work. Now, it doesn't happen to everyone who, has obesity issues, but it can be an issue. So if you don't have insulin, I know this beginning part is very lengthy, so bear with me, but if you don't have, if your cells won't take in the insulin, it can't get the glucose circulates in your bloodstream. Your pancreas thinks, oh my gosh, there's a lot of glucose in the bloodstream, so it starts to produce more and more insulin, and then it just wears itself out.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm imagining this insulin as a, the signal coming into that garage.
Exactly.
So without that signal properly meeting your garage door's not going to open.
Correct.
You got the glucose going around, and then all the problems we get.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So how can you tell if you're getting diabetes, if this is happening?
Yeah. So you're going to have symptoms when your blood sugars are really high. You're going to have symptoms like being really thirsty, and because you're thirsty, you're going to urinate a lot more frequently. You're going to have you're going to lose weight. Because, the insulin, I don't know exactly how it works. It has something to do with like the ketosis, something like that. But you will start to lose weight. So you're going to notice that. You're going to be very hungry. It can affect your vision. It can affect your kidneys. You might have numbness or tingling to your hands and feet. Feel really tired or lethargic. You can have dry skin. And wound healing for people who are diabetics is very slow. So we really watch that when we have diabetic patients, if they injure themselves.
All right. So if we see a lot of commercials, as we do for Ozempic, it practically seems like it's on every day. Do they still use other treatments to handle diabetes?
They do. So Ozempic, the one great thing about Ozempic is it stops you from feeling hungry. For some, it will just make you nauseous and feel awful. And I know some patients will call because they don't like that. If it were me personally to lose weight, I'd be like, yes, I'm sick, I'm not eating, I'm okay. I know that's not a healthy way to go. But they do use other medications as well, like metformin. They still will use insulin. And it just all depends on what type of diabetes you have, where you're at, how your body reacts. But all these things, you want to have these conversations with your doctor. So first, if you are pre-diabetic and you're noticing some of the symptoms that I just told you about, please go in and talk to your doctor. Get a blood glucose test to find out.
Well, thank you for spending the time talking about diabetes. You really broke it down, piece by piece here. I like that.
The one thing I like about this is it makes me want to eat healthy like the whole rest of the week when I study diabetes.
There
the
we
fear
go.
factor.
Well, appreciate you taking the time this morning, and hopefully folks out there learned a little bit about diabetes, and if they fear they are having some of these symptoms, go talk to a medical professional.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, coming up this morning, we still have what's trending.